हेलो एवरीवन. हाय स्टूडेंट्स, हाउ आर यू? आई होप आप सब बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं. एंड टुडे वी आर कमिंग फॉर येट अनदर सेशन फॉर वर्चुअल साइंस लैब्स. एंड I will be taking you through two more simulations today, as we've been doing in our entire sessions on weekends for Scholarlab and Hopi Baba Foundation. So a very warm welcome to all of you, and let's get started. I will quickly share my screen and let's see what are the topics we are going to cover today. So, the first topic is going to be both the topics are in class 7. The first topic which we are going to cover today is reproduction in plants, and the second topic which we are going to cover today is from physics, and the name of the topic is time, distance, and speed. So these are the two major topics which we are going to do. Uh, we see that there have been increasing number of students who have been watching our simulations, who have been watching these videos live. That is really good, and we hope that you keep doing that, because this is going to be useful for you in the long run. You will be able to understand these simulations, these topics much better through the simulation. और एक चीज आपसे मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगा कि अगर आपके कोई फ्रेंड्स हैं या आपके कोई cousins hain who would want to be a part of these simulations, or would want to check these videos, please do share it with them as well. Also, please do show them how these simulations work through your login which you have received from Hopi Baba Foundation. Please make sure that you're logging in through your dashboards. That will be something where you will be able to access these simulations on your own, और इससे आपको सीखने में समझने में बहुत ज्यादा फायदा होगा. All right, great. So we are here in this topic of reproduction in plants, and as we all know, this is actually a biology topic, correct? And यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो हमारे labs जो हैं वो तो 3D 360 degree घूमते ही हैं, and these are not videos, right? These are simulations which I am handling through my mouse. So as you can see, in mouse से handle होने वाले simulations हैं. These are not videos जो pre-recorded हैं. All right. So let's go to what is asexual reproduction. और उसमें चार types है: vegetative propagation, fragmentation, spore formation, budding. And sexual reproduction है, उसमें तीन types होते हैं: pollination, fertilization, and seed dispersal. So let's see कि हमारे simulation से इन चीजों को समझना ज्यादा आसान क्यों है, ज्यादा interesting क्यों है, right? सो वेजिटेशन में चलते हैं. आप देख सकते हो जैसे ही हम वेजिटेशन की बात करेंगे, वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन की बात करेंगे, वी आर ऑब्वियसली टॉकिंग अबाउट प्लांट्स, राइट? तो ऐसे एक्सपेरिमेंट्स को करने के लिए मुश्किल ये होती है कि आप इसको अगर फिजिकली करना चाहो, ऐसे एक्सपेरिमेंट्स को, it's going to be time consuming because the plants की बात हो रही है. You're going to cut them one day, you're going to wait for few days, and then you will be able to see the result. But at least through the simulation, you will be able to know what to expect much faster, right? So as the instructions are saying, please click on the first pot to observe how the sugarcane piece is to be cut and planted in the pot. So let's do that. I have clicked on the first pot, and you see it is being clicked. It has been cut laterally, right? It has been cut in such a way that you have the bigger piece which has been kept inside. Click on the other pots one after the other to observe how each of them is cut. So great, I have cut the first one. We have understood that it has been cut vertically. Now look at the next one. If we take the next one, it is being cut at a slant angle, right? I think at a 45-degree angle. Then you see the third one. This third one is going to be cut how? Just a part of it has been cut, and this is a horizontal cut with a small part being cut over here. I can actually see it from this angle as well, so that it becomes very clear for us what is the way these sugar cane pieces have been cut. And as you can see, the long part has been put in. So I think the third and the fourth are pretty much the same, but it's just the shorter and the longer end, right? Which of the pods will sugarcane plant show vegetative propagation? That's the important question, and I think this is why simulations are really helpful, because what happens here is that we get to be able to see these vegetative propagations and understand the concept much better in such cases, right? All right, so let's see. Let us find the answer. So I have clicked one just because they had asked if which pod do you see, कौन से pod में आपको लगता है कि सबसे ज्यादा vegetable propagation होगा. So So let's see what is the answer. The cut in the rightmost spot, which is spot 4, is the correct answer. Vegetative propagation in sugarcane occurs with the help of bud represents and buds present at the nodes. If the bud is absent or damaged, then new plant growth will not happen. This is something which is really important. So करना क्या है कि ये जो buds हैं बीच में, right? These buds which are there, they actually help in vegetative propagation. तो अगर आप इसका साइज बहुत कम कर देंगे या साइज अगर एंगल वो बर्ड को ही काट देंगे या वो बर्ड को हाफ कर देंगे तो वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन इतना अच्छे से नहीं होगा. And that is the learning, right? And this can very well be a question in a competitive exam जहाँ पे वो पूछ सकते हैं आपको कि बताओ शुगर केन में which of the following is responsible for vegetative propagation, right? So buds is the answer, or in the nodes, right? So that is the answer. Let's go to the next one, which is fragmentation. Experience the process of fragmentation in Spirogyra as a reproduction mechanism. Please refer to the simulation, modes of reproduction and fragmentation tab. So there is another simulation by the names of modes of reproduction, and वहाँ पे एक fragmentation tab है, which we'll do a little later, and then we'll also be able to refer to how fragmentation takes place. Then there is spore formation. Observe and contribute to the spore dispersal process in the fern plant. Okay, fern is a type of plant. As you can see, this is the fern plant. और यहाँ पे उन्होंने क्या लिखा हुआ है कि select an animal possible mechanism used by the fern plant in dispersing these spores for reproduction. तो आप इसमें चूज कर सकते हो कि कौन सा मैकेनिज्म आपको सही लगता है. You can select multiple. So maybe what I'm thinking is because it's a fern plant, insects or birds maybe one, maybe brown spores falling could be another reason for it. Let's see. So the answer is that wind and brown spores falling are the two reasons for spore formations of the fern plant. So आप देख सकते हो that all the explanations about the particular स्पोर फॉर्मेशन प्रोसेस हो गया या बडिंग प्रोसेस हो गया, कोई भी प्रोसेस हो गया, उसका सारा का सारा जो इंफॉर्मेशन है यू विल बी एबल टू गेट ओवर हियर, राइट. वन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज only about 4 out of 1 lakh spores grow to become a mature plant. This is something which is really interesting. So if you have a fern plant और उसको अगर आप प्लांट करो अपने गार्डन में तो 1 लाख स्पोर्स अगर गिरेंगे तो उसमें से 4 ही ऐसे स्पोर्स होंगे जो एक्चुअली आगे जाके एक फुल ग्रोन प्लांट बनेंगे. Very interesting, right? So vegetative propagation we have done. We have done spore formation. Now let's go to budding. Let's see if we have budding here. So conduct a lab experiment in viewing the budding process of yeast cells under the microscope. तो ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है. I'm sure everyone knows कि yeast जो है वो ब्रेड बनाने के लिए, बेकिंग के लिए भी काफी काम आता है. So in fact, the whole process of uh, baking starts has its basis on something like yeast being used for it, right? Okay, so what have we done? We've taken lukewarm water in a petri dish. We're taking some sugar, okay, and this basically sugar में glucose होता है, so that's the food source, right, for yeast. And then we have adding some yeast to it in the petri dish. We would be taking a stirrer and stirring it all the things together. All right, now we take a dropper. We'll be waiting for some time so that the culture is allowed to feed on the sugar, on the glucose, propagate, right? And we'll be able to see more yeast and see how it will propagate. So, okay, we've waited for some time. Now, we're going to take a sample, small drop, and we're going to place it on this slide. I'm sure सबने ये slides देखी होंगी अपने labs में. This slide is being placed with a plastic eyepiece, और अब हम यहाँ से इसको देखने वाले. As you can see, there seems to be that drop over here. But if you go closer, you will be able to see the nucleus and step-by-step process of how budding is taking place. So check this. Okay, this is very interesting. So guys, if you see over here, यहाँ पे हमारे पास yeast is a unicellular fungus. It is cytoplasm. It has cytoplasm, nucleus, and other cell organelles. Right. So हमने nucleus तो देख लिया. ये एक bud है. When the yeast cell matures, cytoplasm enlarges from the margins of the cell wall to form a bud. That daughter nuclei is also getting created. It divides, the nucleus divides into two. So parent nuclei gets divided into two parts, which is called the daughter nuclei. And daughter cell form हो जाती है. And then finally, after more growth, they separate out as two different cells. So new yeast cells get formed, right? अब I'm sure everyone will be able to understand that ये सब चीजें हम अगर if teachers try showing it in the classroom, they'll have to draw all of this, right? Microscope के नीचे तो ये सब समझाना मुश्किल है, but because it is not very easily observable. But at least for a teacher, if you have to explain this, they'll have to draw all of this. But imagine if this is being shown on a screen, on a digital screen, it becomes much more easier as well, right? So those were all part of asexual reproduction. Now we're going to go to sexual reproduction and try and see how that works. So pollination, partake in the pollination process by identifying the type and agent of pollination in the four scenarios presented. So let's see क्या क्या है. Red rose है, white rose है, red hibiscus, marigold, and white hibiscus. These are the various types of roses which we are having, flowers which we are having. अब इनको pollinate करवाना है. So maybe I think a butterfly would be a very good example. So you see butterfly is taking a red rose and pollinating the marigold. Okay. And they're also sitting on white hibiscus. And they are gone. Now, replay the animation, take a quiz. Do you want to replay the animation or do you want to take a quiz? Let's take a quiz directly. Did pollination occur in this scenario? Maybe yes. So I'm going to put yes. Okay. Next. Reason why pollination happened or did not happen? Because of the same type of plants, because the pollen grains here, because of some colors of flowers, because of the different types of plants. So maybe I'm going to keep because of different types of plants. The answer is no, pollination did not happen. Okay, pollination did not happen. Reason why did pollination not happen? Because of the different types of plants which were there. Okay, so our score is 10. So like that, we can choose again some other agent of pollination. Let's say kingfisher. So kingfisher is coming on the red rose and it is going on to the red hibiscus and it is going on marigold and it is going away. Right, which pretty much happened to the last case, I think, as well. Okay, now let's take the quiz. If this pollination happen, I'd say no. Let's say I go with the same answer. The answer is that because of pollen agent here, because of the pollen agent, the pollination didn't happen. So basically, we need to go back, read the text carefully, और उसके बाद हम ये सारे answers दे पाएंगे. And that is something which is very important. Moving on to sexual reproduction में seed dispersal. As you can see, this is a very interesting way in which the concept of seed dispersal has been put. So यहाँ पे करना क्या है? Which of the most common seed dispersal mechanisms for displayed plants? So for example, जैसे milkweed है, तो इसके लिए सबसे common dispersal process क्या है? ये हमें यहाँ से देखना है. So let's say for example animals. Just taking an example. So spinny seeds with hooky. So these are seeds which are having hooks, right? So यहाँ पे I have written animals, right? तो ये अटैच हो जाते हैं जिससे जो सीड्स में हुक्स होते हैं वो बहुत इजीली अटैच हो जाते हैं. Beggar ticks, I think this is also with humans and not lotus. I don't think lotus के पानी से डिस्पर्स होते होंगे because I think they need a lot of water, right? So I'm just going to randomly put a few I think this is going to be animals. So इस तरीके से मैंने कुछ यहाँ पे randomly allot कर दिए हैं based on color. And I think we are anyone which is left. Yeah, this one is left. So let's say put this one. Submit. So now it is showing us whatever is correct and whatever is wrong, right? It can also show us the answers. तो animals वाले की वजह से कौन से होते हैं, water वालों की वजह से जो orange background वाले हैं वो होते हैं coconut and lotus. Bursting की वजह से कौन से होते हैं, right? So bursting yellow है, तो ये जो violets हैं और ये जो squirting cucumber है, right? These happen, या फिर jewel weed है, these happen because of squirting. So yeah, bursting, right? So this is something which is how एक गेम के तरीके से हम सीड डिस्पोजल क्विज भी यहाँ पे कर सकते हैं. So I hope everyone has understood what are the different sexual and asexual reproduction types for plants, right? And I'm sure you have got some idea about it. This is again biology. And now we are going to take the second topic for today, and that topic for us is going to be speed, distance, and time. We also call this topic as motion, right? Basics of motion. So ये वाला जो topic है हम लोग अभी करने वाले हैं. Okay. So let's dive into it. बहुत ही interesting topic है. Physics के topics, as we have been discussing before, बहुत ही interesting होते हैं. At the same time, they have a lot of real life applications. Okay, not that other topics don't, they also do. But physics वाले थोड़े ज़्यादा दिखाई देते हैं, right? We tend to use them a little bit more as compared to maybe biology, right? Chemistry still is a little difficult to see, but physics are much more easier. Correct. तो यहाँ पे मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट द रिलेशन बिटवीन स्पीड, डिस्टेंस एंड टाइम यूजिंग अ रियल लाइफ सिनेरियो ऑफ ऑटोमोबाइल्स ड्राइविंग थ्रू डिफरेंट ट्रैक्स ऑफ वेरियस डेस्टिनेशंस अंडर डिफरेंट रोड कंडीशंस. ठीक, तो हम अलग अलग ट्रैक्स के रोड कंडीशंस के हिसाब से स्पीड, डिस्टेंस और टाइम को देखने वाले हैं, समझने वाले हैं. और हम लोग एक्सप्लोर करेंगे कि ट्रैक के ऑप्शंस कौन से होते हैं, उसकी वजह से स्पीड, टाइम और डिस्टेंस में क्या फर्क पड़ता है, एक्सेलरेशन की वजह से क्या होता है, अंडरस्टैंड द रिलेशन बिटवीन ऑल थ्री फैक्टर्स, है ना. ये सब चीजें हम लोग पढ़ने वाले हैं. सो लेट्स सी, वी कैन टेक एनी वन ऑफ दिस काइंड ऑफ ट्रैक्स व्हिच वी आर हैविंग. सो लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल वी फॉर स्टार्टिंग से लेट्स से वी टेक अ स्ट्रेट रोड. ओके, एक मैनुअल ड्राइव का ऑप्शन है, एक ऑटो ड्राइव का ऑप्शन है. सो दिस इज गुड, राइट? सो दिस काइंड ऑफ लाइक अ गेम व्हिच वी आर प्लेइंग. लेट्स से वी टेक ऑटो ड्राइव. ओके, and let's say we say auto drive, ये Tesla है हमारा, right? So auto drive for 50 meters per second. So that's the speed at which we have to drive. If you run into an accident and the road becomes unmovable, please reset and start the simulation again. All right, I think that sounds okay. I am going to look at what are the things which I can see over here. I can see a speedometer, I can see few graphs, right? This is the speed graph and this is the um, distance graph. Okay, what else do I have? I think we are set. So here you go. We have our car which is running. I can actually use, I can actually see how the car is running right now and what is the kind of graph which is being created, right? Very, very simple. What if we change it and we say curvy and we say manual? Okay, curvy road and manual. So when I say manual, you can see now I'm actually using my keyboard. Okay, and this keyboard is actually being used to drive this car. So it actually feels like I'm playing a game, right? And it's a curvy road, so I have to be very careful. And as soon as I leave the accelerator, what it does is it actually takes me to the right place. So you see, the graph is getting plotted in real time, guys. This is something which is great because where else would you find a simulation which actually gives you a game to be played and then shows you the difference between uh, how speed, time, acceleration, all of these things get affected. So this is a mountain road. You can see I've just tried to accelerate on this road. I stopped accelerating some time back, but now I'm constantly accelerating because it's a straight road. And you see, wherever I stopped accelerating, it has shown a dip and then it is going straight. The distance covered, the graph, everything gets plotted over here. Very, very interesting. I feel like I keep playing this game over and over again because it's such an interesting game which is being created and shows everything, right? Shows all the things in it. So let's say, for example, if I take a traffic road, so the traffic road is going to affect our timings. So okay, this is very, very interesting. You see the kind of graph which gets plotted when it comes to the traffic road as well. So I think these are some very interesting simulations which we have, and I'm sure everyone is enjoying this series of talks where we are giving multiple simulations. We are showing you how the concept works, what are the different concepts for physics, chemistry, and biology. We just hope that you are enjoying this. Please share it with your friends as well. Please do access ये सारे simulations, क्योंकि ये सब simulations जितना आप ज्यादा इसको पढ़ोगे, जितना ज्यादा आप इसमें involve होगे, उतना आपकी understanding about topic बढ़ेगी और उससे आपको ज्यादा फायदा होगा आपके स्कूल में, आपके competitive exams में, ये सारी चीजों में आपको ज्यादा फायदा होगा. With that, I think we can stop today's session. Thank you so much for joining in once more. The two new sessions will be live next week on Saturday and Sunday. So just stay connected. Just please share these things with your friends and see you in the next session. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Thank you.